Cut a human brain in half, and you'll notice something strange. It's almost perfectly divided into two giant hemispheres. Not three, not four, just two. And these halves aren't just for symmetry, they actually specialize in different jobs. But why would evolution build one of the most complex objects in the universe this way? The answer turns out to have nothing to do with the brain itself. It began hundreds of millions of years before brains even existed. The earliest animals on Earth, over 600 million years ago, didn't have brains at all. Creatures like jellyfish simply had a loose network of nerves spread throughout their bodies. There was no central control center because they didn't really need one. They floated through the water, reacting to whatever touched them. But as animals became more active, everything changed. Once you're swimming with purpose, hunting food, or escaping predators, direction suddenly matters. You now have a front that reaches food first, a back that follows behind, a top facing the light, and a bottom against the ground. Because the front always encounters the world first, evolution gradually packed more and more sensory organs there: eyes, noses, mouths, and eventually a brain. But here's the interesting part. Most of these early animals also evolved bilateral symmetry. In other words, they developed a left side and a right side that were almost mirror images of each other. Why? Because if you're moving in a straight line, having two matching sides is incredibly efficient. Two eyes provide depth perception, two ears help locate sounds, two legs let you walk with alternating steps, two fins let you swim in a straight line. Instead of inventing every body part twice, evolution could simply build one side and mirror it on the other. And because the body was mirrored, the nervous system became mirrored too. Rather than creating one giant central processor, evolution expanded two matching halves, one serving each side of the body. So the brain didn't suddenly split one day. It was essentially built as two halves from the very beginning. Over millions of years, those halves grew larger and became connected by a thick bundle of nerve fibers called the corpus callosum, allowing them to communicate almost instantly. Then something even more interesting happened. Instead of both halves doing exactly the same job, they began to specialize. For most people, the left hemisphere became better at language and sequential thinking, while the right hemisphere became better at spatial awareness, recognizing faces, and processing the bigger picture. Think of it like two coworkers. At first, both know how to do every task. But over time, one becomes the language expert, while the other becomes the navigation expert. They still talk to each other constantly, but each develops strengths in different areas. This division of labor makes the brain more efficient because both sides can process different kinds of information at the same time. And despite all the talk about being left-brained or right-brained, that's mostly a myth. Almost everything you do, from reading this sentence to catching a ball, requires both hemispheres working together. So why are our brains split in half? Not because evolution decided two brains were better than one, but because our entire bodies evolved as two mirrored sides, and the brain simply followed that blueprint. Then, over hundreds of millions of years, each half became a specialist while remaining connected to its partner. In the end, your brain isn't really one organ cut into two. It's two incredibly specialized teammates that have been evolving side by side for hundreds of millions of years.